Let me think about it. I'll think about it. Does that fill you with dread, or does that fill you with joy in that you have a system that will keep following up until they have finished thinking about it, and then you turn them into a business? Now, that is what we're going to talk about today. So in this video, let me think about it. I'll think about it coming from your customer does not have to be the end of that sales process or the loss of that opportunity. So typical sales flow would be a sales call is made, then a proposal is sent out to the customer, and then no follow up, nothing, quiet, the opportunity is lost. So interested prospects then become forgotten prospects because then you're not there. What happened next? How do you know that let me think about it was a polite way of saying no and not a way of saying, okay, I do actually want to carry on thinking about it. I'm not ready. So let me show you a couple of examples that we've built for clients in the past. So this one's a make.com scenario that we built for a client who's in real estate in New Zealand. Now, what they do is they have a spreadsheet, a Google sheet that contains their customers' information, telephone numbers, and other details. And what we do is we have automation that goes in, pulls out that information, and then phones them. This is what it looks like on the make screen, and this is what you'd have on your system if you were to implement something similar. So in this case, it's an AI voice agent that calls a client. And what does that do? It's just a follow up. It's selling the New Zealand real estate company services to his clients. And then once a call is made in this section here using a VAPI agent, then the result of that trigger to make the call gets stored as well. So that way the CRM keeps being updated. So in this case, the client CRM is Google Sheet. Another way of following up as well, where you tie in different systems, just in case you're wondering how you can make this follow-up solution work for you. In this case, this client has a system that goes out to LinkedIn, sends connection requests. The connection then accepts the request. At that point, an email is sent. So that email is sending the initial bit of information from this particular client. And you can build some flexibility into this. But the thing to think about is this is a successful run of the client has a solution that goes out to LinkedIn, then sends us a notification that the prospect has accepted a connection request, and then based on that, we send an email to that prospect, and then we put it into the client's database. So those are two examples right there that I wanted to show you to give you an idea of what the outbound way of doing these things could be. Could it be that you want something to phone the prospect to talk about your service or to talk about the next stage and what happens next? Or do you want an email going out? All of these things are automations that you can build. Now, what if the prospect sounded interested? And then after the call says, let me think about it. Why did they suddenly say they want to think about it? And I'm sure if you've tried selling things, you've had this happen to you where it feels like the prospect's just gone cold, right? You don't know why that's happened. And that's why you have to do that follow up. Did they have a problem with the proposal after you sent it? Did you add a clause that they weren't expecting? Did they understand the offer? Did they have other questions? Right? How do you know those things? So did they receive another proposal and considering the other options, is there a way you could have rescued that potential opportunity? That's why you do the follow up, and that follow up shouldn't be based on whether you remember or based on memory. Now, what many business owners assume is that if they say, "Let me think about it," or "Now is not the time," that sort of thing, that means they're not interested. That may not always be the case. What may actually be happening might just be that they've got other priorities at that time. Life is happening, so they want to focus on those things. They've got other options that they're comparing. Now, you want to know why they might choose your option or your solution over your competitors, or why they'll choose your competitors over yours. They might be waiting for some internal approval, some money to come in at the end of the month. They might be unsure about the cost or what the implementation would mean for their business. They may be missing some information that will help them make a decision. You want to find that out, and that's why you do the follow up. So the real leak often is not just that you don't have any customers. You have those customers, the leads are coming in, you're doing those sales calls. The leak is actually that you are not following up to make sure that that customer is closed properly. Not just sending the proposal, but actually finding out if they've read the proposal and whether they want maybe a shorter copy, fewer pages. It could be any of those things. So you need to miss fewer opportunities, because every lead that comes in that's a qualified lead is a potential revenue stream for you. So some people decide that they want to go down the manual route. So yes, I'm not interested in any automation. I'll just do it manually. The issue with that is it depends on how busy you get. It depends on you remembering. It depends on whether other customers have issues and all those customers are taking your time. Do you have something in your CRM that reminds you, or you have it all on your phone? Something should be independently doing this on your behalf. And it shouldn't be down to whether you've had time during the week to do the chasing and the follow up. Okay, because if you leave it too long, it starts to feel awkward with the client. Now, what automation brings to you, and that's what I'm proposing to you, is that imagine this: you have your sales call. The sales call is automatically summarized by your AI with all of the actions extracted, and then you build your proposal, and your proposal is specific to that particular client, just based on all of the useful information that has been extracted. Then your CRM is updated automatically. AI then drafts the follow-up message after the proposal has been sent. A human reviews it, and then the message is scheduled, and that's it. You could do all of that within 2 minutes of your proposal call ending. All depends on the workflow you want to adopt. So having created a CRM task and the reminders all scheduled and all booked in, it means that it's a repeatable process, and it's a process that you can teach somebody else and easily know where things are failing in the system. And it's not down to how busy your sales team was. So the opportunity doesn't need to be remembered. It's defined and it's in place. So AI makes a follow-up very, very relevant, because it's also not a case of let's just send the same message each time. Where AI makes it even more relevant is where it's considered all of the previous touch points and all of the previous messages you've sent. For example, let's say you have a client and you have this advanced system where you send text messages, then you send WhatsApp messages, then you send emails. Those three are probably three different wordings and three different types of messages. The AI can pull all those three and the context from all those three into the next message that you have to send. And even if the next one is a phone call, all of that can be built into the solution. And that's why I showed you the AI voice agent, which can build all of that and use that to create the context around the conversation that's likely to happen. So the goal isn't so much more messages, it's about the messages being relevant and the client or customer feeling like they've been understood and it's been done specifically for them. Now, it's useful to always have a human in the loop, have a human involved in the chain, so that at the very least, every message that's designed and defined is approved by a human who's read it. So AI will do the automation, and then a human would approve the message. Now, over time, when the humans approved multiple messages, let's say 10, for example, you can then use that to train the AI so that the AI constructs the messages in a way that you'd want. So what if the prospect comes back after you sent messages? What's that? Fantastic. It means that you've met them and you've been at the top of their mind at the point they were ready. You're not relying on them remembering that they made a phone call or had a phone call with you 6 months ago, but the messages have been coming in and you've been updating them and providing value in the intervening time. And then at that point when they're ready, they've just sent you a message to say, okay, thanks for the follow up. We discussed it internally. Can we speak tomorrow about getting started? Amazing message you want to see, because that's it. You've done all of the work. Why not just sign the check? So I'll think about it does not always mean no. I don't know what the proportion is, or how many actually mean no, and how many do not mean no. But you can. If you follow up, they will tell you if it's a no. Can you stop calling me? No, I'm not interested. No, it's not going to happen. No, we don't have the funds. Yes, let's get that information and make sure that everything is closed very well and properly. So follow up prevents lost sales. You might be the only one that's following them up. Imagine you had a client who on one day allocated 2 hours to phone in multiple businesses, and you're the only one that kept reaching out to them 2 weeks later, then 3 weeks later, then 4 weeks later, then yeah. So you'd be top of mind when they're ready. So a simple automated follow-up system would go as this. Send a proposal. The CRM opportunity is updated to say this is a potential client. We've sent proposal on that date. Then AI goes in, looks at the proposal, looks at the messages you have sent, looks at the transcript of the call that you had with the client, and then comes up with an email. You look at the email, it's put in your draft, and then you just click send. Or look at the email, it's sent to your phone via WhatsApp or sent to your phone via Slack. You just press send. And then once you've approved it, it goes off, and you don't even have to worry about it too much because you know that all of that has happened in the background. So your question might be at this point, what do I automate first? Again, it depends on your business. You might want to start by automating all new inquiries so that you know that from this day going forward, every single new inquiry must have the proposal go out on a particular day once after the sales call, and then 2 days later, first follow up, 4 days later, second follow up, and so on and so on. Follow up by text, follow up by WhatsApp, follow up by email, all those things, and make sure that all of that is designed upfront. Design and define upfront. And as each one's going out, you make sure you keep track of what the response from the client is. Could be a proposal follow up. So all of your proposals that you sent out in the last 6 months, let's chase them and see what happens. Could be missed calls on quotes. So you say from now on, all our missed calls must get a response. And the final one, which seems to get raise a lot of thousands of pounds for businesses, is old lead reactivation. So you go back into the database, you see people with whom you've done business over the last 2 years, and you start phoning each and every one of them or sending them emails. You provide them with offers, you automate it. So when they come back, you know who's likely to proceed to the next stage where you actually recover some revenue. And you might be just in time for some of your previous clients. So it's worth pursuing them. So your best first automation, maybe the follow-up you already know, or it could be something else. But it's definitely something you should be doing right now. So question for you, how many proposals do you have in your CRM that have no next action? So you don't know if it's dead lead, do not contact, or all right, we chase them up once or chase them up twice, or what point did you get to? If you have stuff like that in your database, that might be a gold mine for you because you already have the interaction with this client. So you have authority to contact them and you can rescue something from that whole process. So don't let I'll think about it become a place where your sales go to die. Turn it into an opportunity to learn, to improve your business, and to serve your customers better. So, if you have any questions or you want to make any contributions, do add a comment to this video and I'll be happy to reach out to you. I'm Ua. I'm the founder of AutoRe.ai. We're helping HVAC companies turn their estimates into booked jobs. And guess what that entails? Follow-ups, follow-ups, follow-ups. And we are anti-AI in this case because we use humans to make those calls. But there are other aspects that we use AI. So AI and humans work together to deliver this service. So if it's something that you are interested in or you'd like to have a session with us to assess your business, do go to our website, autoree.ai, so AUTORE.ai, or send an email to hello@autoree.ai. On the website, you'd see a scorecard and just click that scorecard, answer a couple of questions, and it will give you an idea as to how ready or the preparedness of your business for AI adoption and for the AI transformation. You're ready. So just make it happen. So until next time, keep winning.